the sidelines of working in an IT organization that is betting big on the metaverse. So I decided, why not take an example of one of the MNCs across the world, and just for example, let's just for lack of a better example, let's take Accenture for instance. It's been reporting some very good phases and trends in terms of handling handling the metaverse. So, what is the total size of this business? The total size is 1500 billion in the next 6 years, and Accenture predicts that it's going to be 28% of people say in a survey conducted by Accenture that it's going to have an incremental value on revenue. What are some of the building blocks? So let me break down the multiverse, or I'm saying multiverse, I'm sorry. Let's break down the metaverse into three parts. So one would be the building block one would be foundational VR, foundational virtual reality, where companies that have a minuscule or a partial presence will want to augment that presence and make it larger. Um, they would want to host more products and services and build a digital twin of their physical infrastructure. Phase two would be bringing out the digital presence, where it would be a mix of both. Like there will be an exact replication of whatever is there in the physical world. They would be able to track efficiencies, effectiveness. Uh, Take for instance a brewery. A brewery would be able to see how much grain is poured into the brewing machine and how much comes out, what is the total wastage, all this, and we'd be able to predict those efficiencies because of having a digital twin. Building block 3 is where it is surreal, where there's very little difference between virtual and real. In fact, Apple created some of these VR glasses that were so advanced that they had to be put on the block and not moved further in production because it reduced the gap considerably between reality and the virtual world. Maybe the market isn't ready for that, and as products become smaller, as the VR lenses become smaller, more compact, you get haptic add-ons on clothes so that you can walk around and talk in the metaverse. More and more companies, customers are going to want to experience this. In fact, some of the stories that you hear of people buying shoes that can't be worn in the metaverse and buying jackets and buying assets, that's phase one. That's the building block one of building assets and tokens. Today we are in the phase three. When it happens, it's going to be accelerating all those experiences for people. Accenture predicts that there will be three phases to this entire part. One is uh, the internet reimagined as the metaverse. Phase two will where you can program the world, control, customization, so on, and unreal experiences. AI generated data will have a synthetic content convincingly mimicking what is real, so you wouldn't be able to tell what is real, what's fake. So today, for example, I'm sitting in a car, say it doesn't have a particular meter, it doesn't have, say, a temperature indicator. If I put on a particular lens, if I put on a very compact lens over my glasses, I would be able to see the meter that I want in front of me at the place where I place it on the dashboard. And throughout my journey in the car, there will be the car which has its physical meters, and there'll be a virtual meter which also I can program and choose what I would like it to show. So that's how it's going to be. And a new generation of computers that are going to solve some of the world's most intractable problems today. Today, we can't even think of solving those problems. That's going to be phase four of what Accenture says is going to happen. And it's not that all of us are going to rush to the nearest store and pick up an Oculus Rift lens, or are going to pick up those glasses, or or those suits that help us to act in the multiverse, but they are going to be experienced at booths at physical locations. Say, for example, you go to a tennis match or you go to a cricket match, you'll be able to handle the ball in the virtual world by an actual ball thrown by one of the Indian players with exact speed, exact frequency, exact angle. and you'll be able to see in the virtual world whether you can feel that shot or not. So just like that, there are going to be multiple experiences at stores, at locations, at concerts, at hotels, at your Nike store, everywhere. And eventually, the spectrum of ideas will concentrate and create a unified experiences, and we won't be able to tell what's real, what's fake, or rather what's real and what's virtual anymore. And it would be wrong to think that the experience would be constrained only in a digital space. It's going to be everywhere. Today I want to read a book. I'm sitting at home right now. It's 8:42 India time, and I want to pick up a book off the bookshelf in a store in New York. I just have to go into the metaverse, go into the physical store, pick up the book, and sitting right here in India, I would be able to open the book. I would be able to look at it, keep it down on my table, and it would just be there till the next morning as well. So it will exist in the metaverse, but not in the physical world. But it would touch, feel, everything would be exactly as though it is physically there. So that's my take. Thank you so much for listening.